And now,
it's 10 a.m.
Let's just get down to it.
And it's time for your sports fix.
Strap yourselves in, folks.
From two guys who have covered the teams you're passionate about for years.
We are professionals.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. I know I've said this before, but worried about our guy David James hearing.
Yeah.
I just about
blasted you.
Blew my head clean off right there. Yeah. But then again, he does doesn't he do the earbuds? Maybe that's the thing.
Could be. Or maybe he's hard of hearing.
Oh, I hope not. All right. Ben, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You recovering from that fine game last night?
Well, I had to abandon the game yesterday. I got deathly ill, I felt like midway through the game, and I actually had to leave, which I've never left a game before early.
Deathly?
I thought I was going to vomit.
Like
on
you were gonna check yourself into the hospital on the way home?
I started getting that thing where I got the chills and my stomach hurt so bad that I was so nauseous. I started to get dizzy almost, and I thought I better leave. This is not where I want to be.
Not a big fan of
vomiting
Chris
on
Dunn,
press row? Not where you want to be?
Chris Dunn. No, so I unfortunately I had to leave. It was not what I like to do. Obviously, I try and.
Was it Taylor Hendricks going 0-4?
Yeah,
is that what did
Taylor
it?
did not look good.
I accused Ben of starting a show on a downer, and this certainly is that. But
I'm back.
What's
I'm fine.
what's the worst place you've ever been sick to your stomach?
Oh, I had to work a Sunday one time at a previous stop in radio doing, I think, NFL games we had. It might have been the playoffs, too, because I remember it was winter. And, I mean, I've had bad days, like, and I mean this nicely, at real jobs or other jobs that wasn't me sitting in a producer's studio waiting to hit the station ID in the middle of an NFL game. But that was a really slow Sunday, and I remember I was, like, just trying to feel better, and I was drinking some type of tea, probably like lemon tea to make myself feel better, and I'm not a tea drinker. And I just I remember sitting there in a chair shaking, thinking this is the worst I've ever felt in my life.
I've got a couple of good ones, but the best one is, this was when I was a kid. I was playing Pony League baseball, and it was All-Stars, right? So it's in the summer, and we're playing in the All-Star tournament, and I was not feeling well. Mm-hmm. My coach said, "You got to be there for the team! Got to be there for the team!" And I said, "Okay." And so my parents, gave me about a gallon of Gatorade and said, "Just stay hydrated out there, kid." And so I was playing first base, right? And I'm standing there.
Because you're a bad fielder or what? Running around?
I'm left-handed. And in Pony League, if you're left-handed and you can catch the ball, then usually you found your way to first base. I was not tall, and that becomes less critical as you get older.
Why left-handed at first base?
Because your glove is on your right hand, which is the field side.
Okay.
So you can stretch,
cover like a shortstop a little
you can
more.
stretch to catch the ball.
Oh, when it's being thrown to first.
When it's being thrown to first, you can get some extra.
I've never thought
you
about
get
that.
some extra length on it. It is why you see a lot of left-handed first basemen, even at the major league level. But that becomes less relevant as all of a sudden the third baseman has a howitzer for an arm, and there's and they're gunning people out, and a couple of inches means less and less. But being left-handed, and I could catch, and I ended up at first base in Pony League. Eventually in high school, I think
being able to catch was the most important part.
Maybe, whatever.
The kid who can catch the ball at first base is critical.
But I'm playing first base, and all of a sudden it's like in between pitches, and all of a sudden I'm just like,
throwing up. Here it comes.
You know what I did? Because nobody really noticed, because everybody was watching like the pitcher or whatever was going on. I just kicked some dirt right over it.
Okay.
And went about feeling terrible. May have played the best game of my life, however.
Okay. Yeah.
Now I have no idea if somebody it was a pickoff play and they're diving into first. That could have been a little rough. I didn't notice. But I remember I balled out that day.
Okay.
My theory is because you don't think about it. I just felt about like how crappy I felt as opposed to, wow, I need to get a hit here.
Yeah. You were just doing what you had to do to get through the day, and so you weren't thinking about it as
wasn't.
much.
Yeah, that's my theory on it. But that wasn't the best place.
I believe it.
Be sick to my stomach.
That sounds terrible.
And I blame the coach. I mean, the coach was like, "That's not an option.
Yeah, can't do that.
We're playing Mueller Park." I don't know if it was Mueller Park or not, but
no, glad to be feeling better. Glad to be here. In all honesty.
Oh man, something's for sure going around. My 4-year-old was feeling well enough to go back to preschool today, and the teacher told me 50% of the kids were out yesterday.
Wow.
I think it's a class of like 22, and she said 11.
Wow.
Were out yesterday.
Well, as you were saying, Lowry was actually sick. Nurk is sick right now. I do think there is something going around the NBA for sure, and certainly within the Jazz locker room. But I don't think I got that. Again, it was a weird one-night thing, and it passed pretty quick, so felt better.
Did you have some bad Malaysian food or something?
I don't know
before?
what it was. I did go get an acai bowl a couple of days ago, and I froze it and then warmed it up yesterday morning, and I wonder if it came back to haunt me.
The thing, it was not that. This is what do you have that, this random way to start the show, but do you have that person, that person? I know several that have had, according to them, have had food poisoning like 20 times in their life. And really what it was is they were hungover or had a quick flu or something. Because if you've ever had food poisoning, there's no, I think I had food poisoning.
Yeah.
No. You are well aware. And you're well aware for the next 12 hours or so. It's not, I think it might have been the chicken nugget. No, you'd be.
You would know.
You would 1,000% know.
So it's a little bit of a mystery what happened. And there was no reaction physically to anything. I just didn't feel well.
There was a controversy surrounding that in the Jazz media room a couple of years ago.
Yes, there was. Yeah.
I was like, I don't think that's the issue.
In fact, I saw our guy, CJ Miles, yesterday. And CJ
he was on the pregame show.
The king of gastric distress or whatever his issues were. I don't think it was gastric distress, but
no, it was not.
He missed a lot of games with stomach something.
Something.
Yeah.
No, CJ did the whole pregame show with us yesterday.
Oh, really?
And, man, first of all, I think it's cool he's doing media because he's really good at it. And
did he bring his camera up?
And super insightful. Yeah, had his camera. And
he's he's a photog. He does a lot of photography work.
He told that story because he jumped on with Locke in the third quarter and how he started off as an amateur and has now taken it to the next level. But first of all, super fun. But his perspective is really good because he's known Keontae George since Keontae was...
He's his godfather.
A baby.
Yeah.
And so even though
high school with Keontae's dad, high school basketball with Keontae's dad.
Even though Keontae didn't play yesterday, I was like, we got to dedicate a segment to talking about Keontae because he is this story. And CJ, both on the air and off, just told us like how much work he's actually doing. Like you and I can sit here and speculate, and of course it's now become infamous. The Jazz told him he had to do this, and this, or he would be out of the league and all that. And we can talk about how, wow, it appears as if but CJ gave a really thorough, no, he is doing this. He is working hard here. He is seeing this. And it was extraordinarily insightful to see what's going on with Keontae George. And it is a great story. And they missed him horribly last night.
Yep.
When the desert of the third quarter happened and they only scored 20 points and they basically lost the game. They needed Keontae to do what he's done all year long, and that's create a little juice for himself and others and get the Jazz through the period they need to get through. He's been awesome at that, and they missed him horribly.
And I don't want to chalk Lowry's struggles up last night. He had 19 points on 5 of 15 shooting, which is a very un-Lowry night. And a lot of them were just like layups, which if you've been a basketball player and then you take a break from basketball, the thing that doesn't come back right away is your touch around the rim. Like you just kind of lose some of that ability to finish at the rim on layups. And then he'll be back. I'm sure tonight he'll be just fine if he plays. I don't know if Lowry's going to play tonight. But I also think that not having Keontae there allowed a Clippers defense to focus in on Lowry, which has not been the case this year, and it's a big reason why Lowry is averaging 28 points a game. I think having a second go-to scorer, a legitimate go-to scorer, has made Lowry's life extraordinarily easy. And that's a good duo going forward. That's a very good pairing.
Here's my take on Lowry. I'll try to make this quick. The Jazz do the NBA media training camp. They invite media members over there, and then they run them through drills and stuff. It's supposed to be a funny kind of photo op type of thing. Goodwill.
Yeah.
The first year they did it, the head coach of the Utah Jazz name was Tyrone Corbin. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Ty didn't like people or thought it was funny, but he decided that he really wanted to put people through a real workout. Mm-hmm. And about 10 minutes in, I was questioning whether or not I was going to need an ambulance. It was awful. Uh-huh. And I was so tired and so winded. I just wanted to sit down. That was Lauri Markkanen last night. Yeah. He was so tired.
Yeah, he was.
He was so tired the whole game. And I'm not trying to make excuses for the guy, but you can tell when a player is tired because they miss shots badly that they often make. And that was totally Lauri last night. It takes a little extra effort to eat an elbow and get a layup at the rim, which he's become really good at. Uh-huh. And it just wasn't there. That was a dude who hasn't played in 2 weeks and probably did some damage to his win capacity with a respiratory illness. Just speculating.
Yeah, no, totally.
And so I don't care. 19, whatever. They're not trying to win. Who cares about that? I'm not going to read into anything because that dude looked like he was so tired.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He was coming back from an illness. And then, again, and I asked Will about it before the game, Will Hardy. He said, when Keontae's out, everybody gets a tougher defensive assignment. And I mean, gets a tougher defender assigned to them because the game plan's not about stopping Keontae George anymore. It's about who's the next guy, and that makes life really difficult for everybody else. And I know there were some complaints or at least a lot of notes about Ace Bailey last night scoring 20 points and not grabbing a rebound or an assist, which is just not a very common thing. When you're on the floor long enough to score 20, generally a rebound falls into your lap or you get an assist. I don't necessarily think those run on Ace, the issue there. But also he's being guarded by Kawhi Leonard. And Kawhi knows how to stop you from doing all of those things. Kawhi's an A-plus superstar player and one of the greatest players we've seen in NBA history. And Ace got the wrong end of that when it came to his other non-scoring stats.
I saw a little buzz about that, and I frankly don't care. Call me when that becomes a pattern. You know what I mean?
Some people say, this is what he did at Rutgers. It's like, no, it's not. He got a ton of rebounds.
Who is it that's notoriously a weak rebounder that you look at your stats? Is it Jaren Jackson Jr., where you look at his stats and you're like,
3?
Dude, are you serious now? Hold on, let me see. What's Ace averaging on the season so far?
A little over 3.
3.5 and 1.5 assists in how many minutes? 24 minutes? You know. Call me when it's a pattern. I don't really care about that. You know what? You bring up Kawhi Leonard, though, and that is kind of funny. You missed the post-game with Will Hardy, and he had a really insightful answer of what happened in the third quarter, and it was a reminder to me, and please, this is going to sound meaner than I mean it, but what a dumb team this is. And young players are dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, they just are. Have you heard? You should have heard Tim Lacombe talk this morning about AJ DeBonsa and his defense. It's just like you're not. But anyway, Will Hardy, what he said, or AJ just isn't there from a learned standpoint. We need to learn where to be and how to play. Right. Will Hardy talked about how in the third quarter they decided it was a good idea to attack Chris Dunn and Kawhi Leonard over and over again. It was a really funny answer. He's like, I don't know why we decided to attack maybe the two best perimeter defenders in the league. Mm-hmm. And, you look at the minutia of offense and we think to ourselves, Jerry Sloan, 4 down, and the coaches like Geppetto is dictating everything that's going on the floor. And that is so just not the case. It's up to the team to find the matchups and decide who to exploit. And once they get the ball and Kawhi Leonard standing in front of them, they need to think to themselves, how do I get someone else an opportunity that's not being guarded by Kawhi Leonard? Right. And instead decide now's my time to shine. I'm going to take it right at Kawhi. And I don't think they're thinking that necessarily. It's just not they don't know the minutia yet. Okay, we've got to figure out who to attack, how to attack it, how do I do this? When the defense adjusts, what do I do then so that I'm not attacking Chris Dunn, because that's not going to go well for me. Chris Dunn had 5 steals, and basically took the game over in the second half on the defensive side of the ball. What are you going to do?
9 points, I think 6 off of his own steals.
Yeah, he was incredible. It was like Gary Payton reborn. Mm-hmm. But why are you attacking Chris Dunn? Yeah. I thought it was a great, and I've told Will this in person, but I talk about it all the time. His post-game press conferences are really good.
I asked him a terrible question before the game about Ace Bailey not making the Rising Stars Challenge, and he gave me a terrific answer. It was a horrible question, and he gave me a great answer. I'm with you. He really is pretty insightful on those things.
He is, for sure. I thought that stuff about Kawhi and Chris Dunn was super interesting because these players just need to learn, like, oh, okay. Well, and, trust, like when you give the ball up, it's going to come back. What do you do? Do you do a handoff? Is it a pick and roll? How do we neutralize this superhuman that is Kawhi Leonard, who really is still, even in his 30s, absolutely an incredible physical specimen that is so talented and skilled on both sides of the ball. It's a joy to watch. I hate it that the narrative around him is such bozo stuff.
Yeah.
Just to sum it all up. I hate it because I love him as a player.
Yeah, he should be one of the coolest NBA players of all time.
He should be one of the greats.
He's a main piece of the cultural issue right now that it exists in the NBA, but he should be one of the honestly, I think he has the physical tools, the natural talent to be one of the 10 best players of all time.
He's a face of like 5 out of the 10 things that I don't like about the NBA, which is so frustrating because on the floor, when he's playing and at his best, man, is he good. He's unstoppable.
Borderline perfect. Borderline a perfect NBA player. Both sides of the floor, got way better once he got here. Teammates seem to like him. It's just he doesn't participate enough and whatever, doesn't want to play for certain teams, and I'm totally with you.
Do his teammates like him? I've never heard that about him.
I've also never heard anyone hates him, and you hear the players that they don't like.
I hear you there, but I'm telling you, if it were me, and I'm busting my butt the whole regular season to have the team still somewhere near the playoffs, and Kawhi comes in at the last moment and says, "Oh, I'll play now." And by the way, I'm going to dribble the whole game. Like, there's no way that's popular.
I don't think he's the most popular guy in NBA history, no.
Also is the only one I shouldn't say only player because that's probably not true, but most significantly thrown under the bus by multiple teammates about injuries. Because Rudy threw George Hill under the bus about an injury once. But, I mean, Tony Parker and I think Manu did it too. I mean, like, veteran San Antonio, like, not Nick Young selling out, or no, it was the other way around. Who sold out Swaggy P with a video in the locker room? It was D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
No, it was Tony Parker. No, I think I should just Google it. I think it was Manu talking about Tony Parker, now that I think about it. Because Tony came back from the same quad injury that Kawhi was sitting out with. And he was like, where is this guy? Tony came back like 2 months ago. I've never heard that in the NBA.
No, I'm with you. You're totally right.
So I don't know if he's really popular. Like Russell Westbrook, you wouldn't think is popular with teammates. Popular with teammates until probably recently. But for the most of his career, I don't know if that's the same about Kawhi. Although CJ Miles played with Kawhi in Toronto, and I guess CJ
win a title?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Kawhi was only there 1 year, and they won a title that year.
Unless he said he was 1.5 with Toronto, so maybe he got. I'll have to look it up. Maybe he got traded before.
Okay. Very possible.
Before they won the title. But he talked about playing with Kawhi in Toronto and just said how incredible he was day in and day out. I guess he didn't say how popular he was.
He was traded to Memphis.
Yeah, there you go.
Midway through the season. Usually you do get a ring still if you were on the team at some point. So I wonder if he has a ring.
Well, I'm sure he had to spend plenty of time in practice guarding Kawhi, though, and that probably wasn't all that fun.
Probably pretty brutal.
I like the challenge for the young players, though. If I'm them, I go at it. I mean, Cody wasn't perfect against Kawhi, but he stood him up a couple times.
I thought Cody had a great game last night. Cody's not a perfect player by any means, but he's coming along. He's coming along very nicely.
I do find it funny that James Harden has to defer to Kawhi. I do find it. I find something delicious in that somebody that everybody on the planet has had to defer to for over a decade, and now all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, Kawhi, you want a possession here? All right, all right, pal. You want to go get some ice cream after the game?"
But it is amazing to still see Kawhi at this point in his career. I mean, dribble into a crowd, turn around, rise up, mid-range jump shot, and it goes in every time. I mean, he's so gifted.
I just love how nonchalant he looks when he plays.
Absolutely.
It's really hilarious.
It's bizarre.
It's like he doesn't even care. Nikola Jokic has a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Where it's like I don't even. Yeah. I'm just gonna throw this dime and kind of trot back down the floor, and I barely even.
Then get a great steal or a big rebound, and go back down the floor.
Not even celebrate a title and go back, and I'm really into horse racing actually.
Pretty no nonsense. Yep.
the nonchalant star, I freaking love.
I'm with you.
Unlike Chris Paul, looks like he's going to have a heart attack out there the entire time he's on the floor.
Yep.
It's like, you're really trying out there. You're really pouring it on. All right, top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. Coming up next is Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Listen, we're teaming up with Beehive Meals to honor people that impact youth sports volunteers, youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. You can get that done at KSLSports.com/contest and listen every Thursday to JJ and Alex for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. Time for the top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. That is brought to you by our friends at J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where do you want to start today?
Number 1, big shams bomb this morning. A lot of people calling the Milwaukee Bucks about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they are starting to listen.
And it sounds like Giannis kind of officially wants a new home now, which has always been the big issue. He has refused to ask for a trade. And without actually saying the words, it doesn't sound like Milwaukee wanted to move him, but I think they are recognizing this is a team that's not going anywhere. He's hurt again. It's his 4th calf injury in the last year and a half. And they don't have a pathway forward to building a contender, truthfully. They just don't. So he probably, whether he gets traded by next Thursday or not, he probably shouldn't suit up for the Milwaukee Bucks again this season. Because they do own their pick this year, which is rare. I think all of their future picks are going elsewhere. But they own, and they don't even own their own pick this year. They own the second best of the pick between theirs and New Orleans, which is still good. New Orleans is going to be terrible. It's going to be a top 5 pick. And theirs can be in the lottery. So they will have a chance to get a lottery pick this year, assuming Giannis doesn't accidentally push them into the play-in tournament, which can happen in the East, and then you end up selecting, 12th, 13th. They could probably compete to get right into that range where the Jazz are, right around 7, 8, 9, something like that.
Do you still like that? Do you still like the Spurs as a possible fit?
I think the Spurs have, other than the Thunder, probably have the easiest pathway to go and acquire Giannis. And yes, I do. Giannis, again, is truly one of the 5 greatest players on the planet, probably 4 greatest players on the planet, and it still is, bears out in his numbers. His on-off numbers are insane. When he's on the floor, Milwaukee's great, and when he's off the floor, they're atrocious. I mean, it's stark how good they are when he's on the court. So if you could add him, you absolutely should, and by the way, that applies to the Jazz too.
I don't think he ends up in OKC or San Antonio or Houston. I think he ends up somewhere like Miami. I think it's going to be a franchise that thinks they just have to, Jimmy Butler was the star, that here's the next star, and it's plug and play. I think the Lakers would fall into that category, but I don't think the Lakers have the ammo to give the Bucks what they want.
I'm sure they would love to, but yeah, what are they going to do?
So I would guess it's going to be some middle of the league. This is our ticket to contending.
I agree with you. Miami certainly seems to be the front runner at this point. Now, I don't think Miami necessarily has a ton of great assets to send them. I would wonder if the Magic would get involved and would send Paolo Banchero.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great, kind of centerpiece. And Paulo's not been very good this year, but they could send and the problem is they sent a lot of their draft picks out already for Desmond Bane over the summer, but they could send good young players, if they wanted to go and try and get Giannis. The Jazz could put together a package that includes Lowry and Ace Bailey, and that's and draft picks, and that's probably as good a package as you're going to get. The Jazz would have to know that Giannis would sign an extension here.
Well, yeah, any team, I would think, that makes a move for him, unless you're the Raptors making a move for Kawhi, which randomly paid off.
If you're not including long-term assets, meaning future unprotected draft picks, you're probably willing to take a swing on him without the guarantee of him re-signing and just saying, I hope in our audition we can woo him enough that he will sign something in October. If you don't, or if he will sign the extension and stick around long-term, you're okay giving up those assets because as long as he's on your team, your draft pick's not going to be that good. So I'll be curious. Golden State's certainly going to try and get involved. And, those future unprotected Golden State picks could be valuable as Steph gets older.
Man, be careful throwing young players after old.
I wouldn't do it. If I were Golden State, they need to let this fall away, and they need to try and redraft their team, I think. But
that's how the Clippers made the worst team or the worst trade in NBA history.
Yep.
Is they threw young players after old, and that old turned out to be old, and it didn't work. and now the Clippers are still old and likely going nowhere.
Yeah. I get it. It's a tough spot for Milwaukee, in all honesty. I mean, Giannis is the greatest player in franchise history. I recognize Kareem played there. Giannis is better, has had a longer career and won a title there, as did Kareem. But, man, they have just saddled themselves with Kyle Kuzma and Miles Turner and some of these guys who have these long-term deals. One of the keys for Milwaukee would be you have to take Kyle Kuzma. And Kyle's actually a good player. Like, he's having a good season this year. He's not the problem in Milwaukee right now. But if I were in Milwaukee, I would want to clear my books with Giannis to get a bunch back and then move forward that way.
All right, what's next?
Number 2, big win for the Mammoth last night, taking down the reigning champs.
Huge win. Yeah, second night of a back-to-back after losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning in a very difficult game where they could not score. They lose 2-0. They bounce back and take a 4-2 lead. They end up winning 4-3. There was a late goal from Florida to make this a little bit closer, but it was impressive. That's the type of resilience I think you need to have to make a playoff push.
Yeah, well, now they got to take it into Raleigh and get a win over the Canes.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, what did Cole tell us? Was it yesterday? The playoff percentage-o-meter or whatever that he's looking at is like 80%. I wondered after the month-and-a-half homestand where they played really well, were they going to take that back out onto the road because they were really crappy on the road before that homestand?
Mm-hmm.
As we get to know hockey and what leads to being good and being crappy. And I wondered because they're playing, I mean, this is as tough a road stretch as I imagine that you can get.
Yeah.
And to come out with a win over Florida and a win over Nashville, and then, God, did they get points? Anyway, point being, to come back successful, regardless, honestly, of what happens in Raleigh, I think it's a pretty good sign, I would say.
As you mentioned yesterday, getting the points, all of the points in Nashville, and not letting Nashville even get a point in overtime is great. So you got both of the points there. And then salvaging any points on the Florida trip is really good, and they didn't just salvage them. They picked up 2, so a really nice game there. Probably whatever happens against the Canes doesn't matter terribly, but if you win that or you get a point, you go to overtime. I mean, 5 on this road trip is really good. And to your point, I think the biggest concern would be they really buy into their momentum, positively or negatively, and they kept that positive momentum up from that long homestand where they played whatever it was 7 in a row and they were here for 3 straight weeks. Taking that on the road with them will benefit them going into the Olympic break, which is now a week away, and hopefully they come back and make a big push if you're a Mammoth fan.
All right, what's next?
Number 3, no Hall of Fame for the adult novelty heiress.
Snubbed. Not apparently going to be on the first. Not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's the winningest coach in NFL history. 3-time Coach of the Year, most playoff wins. Was he have 5, 6, or 8 Super Bowls in total? Does he have 6 as the head coach?
Right. 2 as the D coordinator for both for the Giants?
I think both for the Giants. What are we doing here, Hall of Fame voters?
Well, first of all, this has to cement it that the novelty heiress is the worst PR person in the history of PR.
Really?
That's her job, right?
Really
That's
bad.
her job.
That's what she
She's
says
a
her job
PR person, and she is doing all of the PR for Bill Belichick, and she has got to be the worst PR person in the world. Because honestly, they're going to couch it with the cheating, and I'm fine with that because he did cheat.
Uh-huh. And got caught cheating.
Uh-huh. And so I'm not a Hall of Fame voter. Never would I want to be. But I get it, how somebody would justify, that's a good word, justify not voting for him on the first ballot because he is a cheater, a multi-time cheater. Cheater. I'm fine with that, and that's how it's going to be couched. However, if he didn't beclown himself over the past 2 years, I guarantee he'd be in. It's so much easier to not vote for him because he didn't go away. And in fact, not only did he not go away, he stayed in the news for all the wrong reasons. We forgive anything if you go away for a while.
Yeah, or just show a little humility.
In society, honestly, people go away for a while. You see it in Hollywood all the time, like some scandal. They go away for a couple of years and we forget all about it. And then Mel Gibson comes back with Braveheart or something. You know what I mean? Like all Bill had to do was go away for a few years. Everybody forgets like what a grump he was and about the cheating and all this and just vote for him. But no, he has to absolutely just besmirch his reputation which makes it easier to do this, I think.
You're right. Any PR person with a brain would have said, go do a media tour, go poke your head into a couple spots, or disappear. Do one or the other. You can play the mysterious card, and people love the mysterious card. What's he up to? So cool he disappeared. He turned his back on the NFL, and he didn't need football anymore. That's awesome. Or there's the, oh, wow, he's got this different side of his personality that I didn't know, and apparently he's like one of the most curious people in the world. So if you were to go put him in specific situations on, the Sunday morning NFL shows, he can ask questions, and he humanizes himself, and all of a sudden, so easy to vote for. He found a way to take the least likely path, which has become more unlikable.
But they tried to do that one. They tried.
Yeah.
They produced a silly show that he tried to get going on YouTube or something like that. And he wrote a book, which is what you do for a campaign for the Hall of Fame. But he ruined that right out of the gate with that bizarre, crazy interview with, who was it, ABC News or whatever, where
she been 60 Minutes, whatever it was.
She kept bullying in and be like, we're not talking about that.
Don't ask about that. Don't ask about how he met me. All right.
So that's what I'm saying. If there weren't the bizarre, clowny mermaid photos and all that out there, it makes it easy to vote against that guy.
I like the cheerleading. Cheerleading is still my favorite aspect of this.
Where he's showing up to the semi-pro cheerleading events.
The adult co-ed competitions.
God, she really did a number on that guy.
You're right. They are punishing him for her work. I truly believe that because I suspect a lot of people have wanted to get access to Bill and would love to have him. And she has made it too difficult.
And he's terrible at North Carolina?
Yep. No, it was probably a pretty easy vote for a lot of people.
You're like, I could vote against this guy, sure. And I'll call it cheating because that is a thing. Mm-hmm. Like, he did cheat. And I don't know what accountability looks like. And it's kind of funny. Like, I won't vote him on the first ballot, but on the second ballot, it's all silly and subjective or whatever. But, like, he left the door open to it by becoming a not serious person.
100% agree. Yep. There are, the hardo Hall of Fame voter who thinks that their ability to have the vote is the single most sacred thing that's ever happened to humanity is the worst thing in all of sports. The people who didn't put Ichiro Suzuki as a lock, what was it, got 100% of the votes for the Hall of Fame. I think he missed out on one. Some guy was like, I want to see a little more. It's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, you're the worst person on the planet. Bill Belichick doesn't have that argument.
Well, those mouth breather voters, 50 of them or whatever, including Bill Polian apparently, have been waiting to stick it to Belichick forever. And he just left the door right open to it.
Yep, he did. He invited it.
And he should go down in history as a cheater, by the way. I'm totally fine with the justification.
But Brady's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He cheated too?
He did, but he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But he's done a better post-career PR tour.
Big time.
Yeah. Bill hasn't done it.
How's it going in Chapel Hill?
Quite poorly. But you know what? The Raiders stink, and Tom Brady's got a big thing to do with that. He's had controversial dating in his life, and even since he's retired, he's kind of always seen with a new girl and a lot younger women than him, which can turn people off. But I don't think it's going to be it's not going to be a problem for him when he gets into the Hall of Fame. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer and should be unanimous, but it's because he's handled his PR better.
Hey, hon, you're really getting into this jiu-jitsu thing, huh? It's been a lot of time.
You seem close with your coach.
Yeah, he must be very thorough in his work. Very thorough.
He's in pretty good shape. Did you notice that?
What's funny is that's such, these are uberly famous and wealthy people, and that is such a cliche to fall into. Like
the pool boy?
Yeah, or the tennis coach.
Absolutely.
Or the whatever.
Yes.
Such a cliche.
Still human. Still people.
All right, stay tuned. More next. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Whether it's the Jazz, Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, these guys have got you covered.
Time to eat, fellas.
You're locked on to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
1, 2, 3, move it.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben want to remind you to join JJ and Alex at the Boat Show coming up on Friday from 3 to 6 at the Mountain America Expo Center in Sandy. Your opportunity to shop, compare, and buy the boat of your dreams. See you Thursday and then over the weekend for the biggest sales event of the year for boating enthusiasts at the Boat Show. It's also a Wednesday, Means it's a win. Ticket Wednesday. Caller number 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. You're going to win a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Professional Bull Riders of February 6th at Delta Center. Your chance to witness world-class athletes going head-to-head with powerful bucking bulls at the crossroads of the West. And if you miss out, you can enter for a chance to win online at kslsports.com/contests. Ben, like me, you worked at a hotel. Mm-hmm. When I was working the front desk, we'd have, when the rodeo came through, we'd have the athletes stay at the hotel occasionally. And young, it's a young person sport. We're talking about late teens, 20s kind of athletes, right? Every single one of them limped. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them had like a gnarled hand.
Yeah.
I mean, rodeo is it's a sport. It's taxing on your body. Let me put it that way.
Okay. How much do you think the highest grossing rodeo star is of all time?
I'm sure it's not CJ Miles money.
No, CJ made 60. You're right. It is not CJ. This man's name is Jose Vitor. I believe it's Leme. Mm-hmm. He's the highest earning cowboy in Western sports history. Give me a guess. Ballpark me.
$600.
$8.3 million.
Okay. That's all right.
Not terrible.
But that dude can barely walk, I guarantee it.
Correct. That guy has earned every penny of that $8 million. You say a lot of athletes have not earned their money? Jose Vitor Leme, that dude has earned his cash.
That guy's taking yoga classes just to get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, hopping on the back of a bull for, 7 seconds?
Yeah, 7 seconds or more, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that dude has earned his cash. Good for Jose.
I never understood what would inspire somebody that wanted to do the career path of a rodeo clown, however. A rodeo rider, I can understand.
Yeah, the highest paid rodeo clown of all time it's like a grilled cheese sandwich.
Let's just think about it. Let's take compensation out of it for a second. Let's just talk about the dream of what you want to do. I get rodeo rider. You're the star of the show, and this is something challenging and all the things. But the clowns are just bait.
And
so I want to get into a ring to distract the raging bull to run at me instead of someone else. That doesn't seem like, I don't know why you would dream to do that.
And, Jose Vitor Leme, my guy, while he wears a helmet while he rides, he takes his helmet off, he puts his cowboy hat on, you see his face, he's a celebrity. We've talked a lot about Gene Simmons, the mistake of being in the band Kiss or Gwar or whatever, Slipknot. You can't ever take the mask off.
Yeah, you can't,
because nobody cares who you are. You literally put clown makeup on.
Yeah.
As soon as you take it off, you may still have the bruises and all the wounds of being a rodeo person, but a rodeo person who's actually a clown that nobody cares about you without the makeup on.
That's rough.
Tough break.
That's a tough gig. I know. Imagine doing it without the makeup, though. Then you're just a crazy person who's in the middle of a rodeo.
Christian, I want you to work on getting a rodeo clown to come on as a guest
interview?
for the show. I would,
like in depth,
love to talk to a rodeo clown.
What led you to this line of work?
What went wrong?
Do you remember when we asked Reno Mahe about how crazy you have to be a punt returner in the NFL? I feel like it's similar to rodeo clown.
Absolutely.
Like
Flint Rasmussen, by the way, widely considered the GOAT.
Of clowning?
Rodeo clowns?
Of rodeo clowning.
What's his name?
Flint Rasmussen.
Good for him.
What's his clown name?
I don't know.
This is Juggles. Mr. Honky knows.
What makes a good rodeo clown?
Oh, I think you got to distract the bull. I think that's the thing. It's the percentage of the time the bull comes after you.
I bet we could get Flint on the show. I have no doubt we could get Flint Rasmussen on the show.
The bravest man alive.
Yeah, absolutely. 58 years old. I bet that's the oldest living rodeo clown of all time. Life expectancy has to be...
Do you think after catching a horn, he's sitting to the side thinking to himself like, God, I got to get a new job. I got to do anything else.
As he's trying to stop the bleeding?
Yeah, as he's
Probably.
trying to put his leg back on. He's like, oh, what am I doing?
Former rodeo clown. I found his Twitter. Flint Rass. 49,000 followers. Good for Flint. That's a culture I've never... I like the rodeo. Rodeo's way cool. I need to take my kids to a rodeo. But I've never fully understood the culture of it. But it's a real thing. Women dress up. Men go out and put on their their best, their kickers and their hat, and get ready to go out.
Hey, giant bull, run at me. Don't run at him. Run at me.
I'm making fun of you. I've got clown makeup on
I've got
because
a
I think
clown
you
and I'm
are
doing a little
clown.
dance. Run at me. Mike Smith coming up next. Furthest thing from a rodeo clown may be possible.
Yeah, Mike would not put on clown makeup.
Stay tuned. Makeup maybe, not clown makeup.
Correct.
He is a TV guy after all. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.